I can't imagine what you're going through, Ray, but there's got to be another way here.
Few names in professional wrestling carry the weight, admiration, and universal respect of Rey Mysterio. For over 3 decades, the masked luchador thrilled millions around the world, redefining what it meant to be a smaller wrestler in an industry often dominated by giants. His speed, agility, and charisma made him a pioneer. When the heartbreaking news of his passing broke, the wrestling world fell silent. The man who embodied lucha libre, who inspired generations of performers and fans alike, was gone. But the silence quickly turned into a chorus of tributes. From the locker rooms of WWE to arenas across Mexico and beyond, the world began to honor the life of a legend. At his funeral, emotions ran high. And it was Triple H, WWE's chief content officer and longtime colleague, who delivered one of the most moving tributes of all. Triple H's emotional words. Triple H, himself a cornerstone of modern wrestling, stood before a grieving crowd and spoke with a heavy heart. Ray wasn't just a superstar, he said. He was a brother, a friend, and one of the most genuine people this business has ever seen. Inside the ring, he broke barriers. Outside the ring, he built bridges. Ray made you believe in the impossible. For Triple H, this was more than a corporate responsibility. This was personal. He had shared locker rooms, WrestleMania moments, and countless memories with Ray. His voice cracked as he recalled how Ray's humble spirit remained unchanged, even after achieving global fame. Ray carried himself with grace, Triple H added. He reminded us that greatness doesn't come from size, but from heart, and Ray's heart was bigger than all of us. The room, filled with fellow wrestlers, family, and fans, erupted in a standing ovation, not for the speech alone, but for the man it honored. The global outpouring of grief. Rey Mysterio's passing sent shockwaves through the wrestling community. Social media platforms were flooded with tributes. Legends like John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, and The Rock posted heartfelt messages. AEW stars and independent wrestlers, many of whom grew up idolizing Ray, shared stories of how he inspired them to step into the ring. In Mexico, where Ray was more than just a wrestler but a cultural icon, fans gathered in plazas to light candles and chant his name. Murals of his signature mask appeared overnight on walls across Tijuana and Mexico City. Ray wasn't just loved, he was adored. Even beyond wrestling, celebrities, athletes, and musicians paid tribute. From UFC fighters to soccer stars, the message was the same. Rey Mysterio's influence reached far beyond the squared circle. A career that changed wrestling forever. Rey Mysterio's story is one of perseverance and trailblazing. Breaking barriers. In a world dominated by heavyweights, Ray, standing at 5 feet 6 inches and weighing just 175 pounds, proved that skill, heart, and innovation could topple giants. Signature style, his high-flying moves from the iconic 619 to the breathtaking West Coast pop redefined wrestling's possibilities. He brought lucha libre to mainstream audiences and changed WWE forever. Championships and moments. Ray's career is filled with highlights, winning the 2006 Royal Rumble, capturing the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 22, and countless unforgettable rivalries. Mentorship. Beyond his own success, Ray opened doors for others. He mentored young talents, from his own son, Dominic Mysterio, to rising stars in Mexico and WWE's developmental system. Ray's journey was proof that passion and resilience could rewrite the rules of an entire industry. Family at the heart of the farewell. At the funeral, the most emotional moments came not from the wrestling world, but from Ray's family. His wife, Angie, spoke softly about the man behind the mask. To the world, he was a hero, she said. To us, he was just Oscar, a husband, a father, and the most loving man we could ever ask for. His children, Dominic and Alia, stood close by. Dominic, now a WWE star himself, shared a tearful tribute. My dad was my first hero, he said. Everything I am in this business, I owe to him, and everything I am as a man, I owe to him even more. He showed me that no matter how high you fly, you always stay grounded in love and humility. The bond between Rey and his children was well documented, and that love was on full display in their words and tears. Fellow wrestlers say goodbye. The service was attended by legends from across eras. Edge, Rey's longtime friend and tag team partner, recalled their battles and victories together. Batista shared memories of traveling the world with Rey, calling him the heartbeat of every locker room. John Cena, who faced Rey countless times, summed it up perfectly. Rey Mysterio didn't just perform for the people, he lived for them. Every match, every move, every smile, it was all for the fans. And that's why they'll never forget him. Even rival promotions honored him. AEW, NJPW, and WWE in Mexico all held 10-bell salutes before shows, proving that Rey's influence transcended company lines. A mask that became a symbol. Rey's mask was more than just an accessory. It was an identity, a tradition, and a symbol. In lucha libre culture, the mask represents honor, history, and pride. Rey carried that tradition into the global spotlight, turning his mask into one of the most recognizable icons in wrestling history. At the funeral, a framed mask sat beside his casket. It wasn't just cloth and colors, it was the legacy of lucha libre, the pride of Mexico, and the spirit of Rey Mysterio himself. Fans pay their respects. Outside the funeral hall, thousands of fans gathered to pay their respects. They wore replicas of his mask, carried signs, and chanted his name. Some traveled across countries just to be there. "I grew up watching Rey," one fan said. "He gave hope to kids like me who were always told we were too small, too weak, too different. Rey showed us we could still be heroes." WWE announced plans for a future tribute show, ensuring fans everywhere could celebrate his legacy together. More than a wrestler. What made Rey Mysterio so beloved wasn't just his athleticism, it was his humanity. He was humble, approachable, and kind. In a world of larger-than-life characters, Rey was real. He treated fans with respect, took time for children, and never let fame change who he was at his core. That authenticity is what makes his loss so painful, and his memory so enduring. The final bell as the funeral drew to a close, a solemn 10-bell salute echoed through the hall. Wrestlers, family, and fans bowed their heads as the sound reverberated. A tradition in wrestling, a final farewell to one of its greatest icons. Triple H returned to the podium one last time. Legends are remembered, but Rey is eternal. His spirit will live in every ring, every mask, every young wrestler who dares to dream. We'll carry him with us, always. The crowd rose to its feet in thunderous applause, honoring not just the wrestler, but the man. Rey Mysterio's eternal legacy. Rey Mysterio's passing is a loss that cuts deeply, but his legacy is unshakable. He was a trailblazer who shattered barriers, a mentor who lifted others, and a father who inspired with love. From his breathtaking debuts in ECW and WCW, to his WWE World Championship glory, to his final matches alongside his son, Rey's story is written in the history books of wrestling and in the hearts of millions. His mask may now rest, but the legend of Rey Mysterio will never fade. As the saying goes in lucha libre, heroes come and go, but legends live forever. Rey Mysterio was both, and now he is eternal.